The liberal agenda has taken over. I mean, take these guys at PTR Radio just to look at these basement dwellers. Two fat guys, and someone thinks he's a freaking monkey. The end is near, folks.
And now back to just a great podcast. I mean, really great bunch of guys, just the biggest and best stars on the podcast scene.
And now back to PTR Radio with Mike the Ape Man, Shaggy, and Colin. These three guys should really come with a warning label, maybe like for rectal use only.
Feel my body, drink my wine.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of PTR Radio here on the fabulous interweb. I gotta get back on that site again. You know, come up with some more famous people. You know, I don't know. Maybe we'll get some. Maybe.
You're gonna have to send me the link for that site, because now that I actually have some things on my calendar where I'm going to be DJing, I may make some drops to throw in.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I have I was just looking. Speaking about things coming up, so I'm DJing my stepson's wedding here in about a month, and all right, Mike, you've DJ'd a few things, so let's talk about this. Have you had one of these yet? Because I think this is the second one that I've had like this, where the bride comes to you and says, "Here, I just need you to play this playlist." And it's like she has planned out 3 hours worth of music.
No, I have not had that yet.
Yeah.
The one time I joked with a friend of mine who, I joked with the guy who DJ'd our wedding, who's, kind of big in the industry. And he posted up an article, something about this. And I said, hey, listen, it's only a matter of time before you're just going to be like, Alexa, play my cocktail hour playlist, and that's going to be your DJ.
Which, there are certain times in a ceremony or in an event, no matter what event, where you can do that, where you can just say, start a playlist and go, because it doesn't matter. Like, cocktail hour is a great example there, right? Cocktail hour, dinner music, even just, there's just certain things where you can just set it on autoplay and not give a darn. Right? Because it's just background music. That's all it is while people talk.
Yes.
And you don't care what is there. And I have played just some ridiculous stuff during those times. Like, I have played instrumental versions of Guns N' Roses songs, and, done by 4-string quartets. And every once in a while I get that weird look like, are you playing, like, December Rain? November Rain by Guns N' Roses with violins, like just violins and harps. I'm like, yes, I am.
So, true story, I'm at the bar after hockey on Friday night, and I'm listening to something playing through Touch Tunes, and I'm like, wait a second, I know this song. Why do I know this song? I don't know when, but Richard Cheese's catalog is now on Touch Tunes.
Yes.
So I can now I can bounce back and forth between Richard Cheese and William Shatner to piss off the bar at any given moment.
I did play Richard Cheese Down with the Sickness during one cocktail hour. That got a couple of looks, but everybody had fun with it because they were half lit, so it didn't matter.
Of course.
But yeah, no, and my soon-to-be
so that's what she did to you. She
basically said, "Yeah, here, can you get these songs? There should be 3 hours. Let me know if it's going to run short." And I'm like, I fully expect brides or whatever to come. Usually it's brides. It's never grooms. Brides come to me with the list and say, "Hey, I want you to work these songs in." Okay, fine. But when they come to you with a whole list, and which, fine, I'll do it. That's what you want me to do. I don't have a problem with that. But these are just songs they like off the radio, right? They're just songs that you like to listen to. They're not necessarily songs that you can get up and bust a move to, or that will promote people to get up on the dance floor. So what you're going to have is a boring wedding.
This is where you send me that list. And let me see if I can find some, like, remix versions that I can put them together into a danceable mix for you. So you're still playing the song, per her request, but it's like a different version that might get people.
It's the club
to
mix.
Want to boogie a little bit, yeah.
So
I can do that for you.
And it's mostly all country songs. But yet
I can't do that for you anymore.
I mean, it's 99% country songs, and it's just like, oh my God. So, yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't have a problem with it. I'd do it. Whatever. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, you've taken all the creativity out of this, and which whatever, that's fine. Like I said, it's no big deal. But yeah, it does kind of, because as a DJ, you strive to make 50% of people happy 50% of the time, and when you're tied into a playlist, you can't really do that. So, and I've already been told, like, no chicken dance, and that's fine. You want to outlaw some songs, I'm good with that, but there's whatever.
There is a song, and I have said this before, there is a song called The Battle of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts, in 1814, took a little trip, out of Mississippi.
Yep.
Right? That song was called out in our wedding DJ contract that said, if you play this song,
you're not getting paid.
We are entitled to a 100% full refund.
Now, what about
because my cousins are assholes. This is like a tradition on their side of the family. I'm like, no, it's not. It's your tradition. It's not mine. I hate this fucking song.
Now, have you heard of the I-95 song, otherwise known as the A-hole song? No. Well, we won't play it because we'll get a copyright violation. That's for darn sure. But sometime you should listen to the I-95 song. And it's like I-95 as in like the interstate. So yeah, it's one of those around here. Any karaoke night, somebody's gonna sing the I-95 song. But
okay,
I don't know if I'm familiar with the I-95 song. But by the way, so everybody might be checking in. I'm still recovering from brain surgery, so I might be even quieter than usual.
Yeah,
I'm here.
But Colin is not, even though there's a beige wall and he's sitting in, what looks like a leather recliner, he is not broadcasting from the hospital. Because it does somewhat look like a hospital room where you're at right now.
Yes.
But we are not soaking up hospital Wi-Fi. There is not going to be someone who dies on the table because we're broadcasting, and therefore a telesurgery can't happen. Yeah.
There's my pinball machine. It's right there.
Yeah. So.
Okay, so he is in the same room.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we didn't take his pinball machine into the hospital. That would have been really cool, but we didn't do that. So, yeah.
I'll tell you. So, not only was I in the hospital, I was in the ICU.
Yeah, you were in critical care.
And they eventually were able to bump me down. I preferred being in ICU. The nurse is like just outside your room. You can hear them talking to each other. And when I shifted to lower level, then it was like, okay, I might see the nurse eventually.
Yeah.
As opposed to always.
Well, and for those curious, right? So Colin, it kind of took me back a little bit because, like, before your surgery, I thought, okay, this is going to be no big thing. Colin says he's going in for surgery, but you know what? They let it go for like 2 months. They told him he could go to Disney on vacation. I mean, they told him he could travel by plane with pressure changes and everything. So, this is probably like outpatient, right? I mean, he's going to go in, they're going to knock it out in like an hour, and then he's going to be back home, and no big deal. That was my thought, given like their lackadaisical attitude leading up to this. And then, like, I get a note. I know you're going in. I knew you were going in like early morning, like mid-ish morning, and we had told you to tell your mom to let us know. And then I get a note like mid-late afternoon, Colin's out of surgery now and in ICU. I'm like, did he go in late? Did he get bumped? What? And they're like, no, it was a 7.5-hour surgery. And I'm like, well, that's definitely not the outpatient type thing that I thought it was going to be. Suddenly, this got a lot more serious. And, and I question your pre-surgery advice.
It was described as outpatient surgery. And I'm like, well, it says it's outpatient surgery, but he also told me we're going to have this drain that they're going to have to like drain my spine every hour. So I was like, oh yeah, you'll be in the hospital. So I had this thing. My understanding in my head was that this was going to be this is not that big of a deal. Basically, I had to be in the hospital because they had to drain this thing. And other than that, I didn't think it was that. No, yeah, I just call it an 8-hour-long surgery. And I'll just say, have either of you ever been knocked out completely for a surgery like that?
Yes.
A couple of times.
I had no idea exactly what that entailed. I thought maybe I'd wake up in the recovery room, but no, I didn't realize that it was like at some point at the end of the surgery they would take and then my brain would just immediately boot up and I'd be into full consciousness all of a sudden, and I had this impression of literally a computer throwing into boot like suddenly and then reaching out to a server to figure out its current status. Because at work, that's what I'm working on right now, is this server whose job is to tell the other server, based off of its current state, what it's doing. So that's what my brain decided was happening when it booted up suddenly. It was very surreal. But yeah, 8 hours, and then ICU. I had a terrible headache for several days. Felt very weak because what they were doing was they're basically, because they were draining that fluid out. So that my brain was not floating in this fluid like it was supposed to be. It was just kind of being affected by gravity. So
So if you, I think
it's a much bigger thing than I was expecting.
Well, and I think if I know the medical part of it right, and I may not, but like when you're severely drunk, right, you get dehydrated. That's what causes the hangover, is the dehydration, and that is it's the pulling of your brain against the skull and all that kind of stuff. That's what really causes when you have like that intense super migraine from getting extremely drunk. And so I would assume that that's what you had, kind of the feeling, your headache, without the happy fun time before, right? So you don't have a good story leading up to it that includes the words, "Hey, watch this," or a Chinese hooker laying in your bed, So you just had the bad hangover. I'm guessing.
Yeah, it was just a bad headache. They had me prescribed to be able to take morphine and stuff. I just never took any of that. It's just
you're missing out.
Progression of Advil and then Tylenol and then Advil and then Tylenol and then Advil and then Tylenol.
Oh, you're missing out on some of the good stuff, man. I went to the ER one time because my back was so knotted that you could actually see the muscles turned and tied up. Cause I actually went because I thought I was having a heart attack. It hurt so bad, the pain was coming out the front, and they gave me some really, really good stuff. I mean, it was like the best. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was awesome. And I mean, my back hurt so bad that by like a half an hour after they gave it to me, it was still hurting again. And I said, "Hey, can I get a refill on that?" Because it was a needle, and I'm like, "Can you give me more of that before I head home, just so that I can make sure I go to sleep?" And they're like, "Yeah, but we'll have to watch you for another 10 minutes to make sure there's no reaction." I'm like, "That's fine, I will take it." And so, yeah, that was great. Oh, they have the best drugs at the hospital. The best drugs.
So the entire surgery happened through my nose, and so because of that, I didn't have any actual giant cuts in my body that were causing lots of pain. And so, like I said, they had prescribed the morphine and stuff, but I didn't really have that kind of pain. All I had was this, this endless headache and this general feeling of weakness. So I already told the other two this. They liked it, so I'll tell everybody else this. So part of my post-surgery instructions were that I'm not allowed to pick up anything heavier than a gallon jug of milk. And so I said, pick up a gallon jug of milk? Who do they think I am, Hercules?
Yeah, and that just...
Pick up anything heavier than that. I couldn't imagine picking up a gallon jug of milk. I could barely pick my phone up to see what everybody else was doing. And yeah, I think basically the week. So I had surgery on a Wednesday, and then I went home on Saturday.
Which, by the way, that is not outpatient surgery. Outpatient is like go in the morning. I'm out by the afternoon. That's outpatient. In other words, you never sleep at the hospital overnight. That's the definition of outpatient. You had inpatient surgery. It's what you had.
Oh, big time. And someone tried to explain to me this. Well, it's a problem of nomenclature, and it's really because it's actually described as an elective surgery. So because it's elective, it also gets labeled as outpatient.
Elective. Elective.
Yeah,
your brain was leaking out your nose.
I could have elected to leave the hole into my brain.
What? Elective.
So anyway, so I got home on Saturday, and then so that I thought my original plan was okay, fine. So I'll get home on Saturday, recuperate more on Sunday, and then I'll go to work. And I realized quickly, no, I am not going back to work this week. And actually, there were wide swaths of that week. So the week after that, I had my follow-up where they actually removed a bunch of wadding that was in my head. And I was much better after that. So I have been working since then. But there was this. So every time you go to the doctor's office nowadays, right, they have to give you that screener to see if you have depression.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking at this going, in the last week, have you felt like you don't want to do anything? And I'm like, yes. And the second question was something along the lines of, in the last week, have you felt like despair, or have you felt like, you never going to get around to doing something? And I was looking at this going, no, but there were times this last week where I was so tired, I was too tired to think about, did I have any emotions? I was too tired to pick up my phone and look at it. Because picking up the phone and looking at it was too difficult. So I said, am I really supposed to answer these questions truthfully because I'm recovering surgeon? They said, no, just say no on both of those.
I have to fill out that every time I go to see my neurologist because of I definitely used to have to do it back when I was on narcotics for my headaches. And, now I'm on different medication, but they still have me fill the same form out. And yeah, it's like, have you gotten into an argument since your last visit? I'm like, I have a visit every 6 months. The chances of me not getting into at least one argument in a 6-month period of time is very low. Do you know where I work and who all I work with? I mean, come on.
My job is?
Come on.
My job is to have arguments with people.
So, Tuesday, I had to go have a consult with the oral surgeon because last week my tooth was killing me. And long story short, I have an impacted wisdom tooth that was infected. So I'm taking my antibiotics. I had to have the consult with the oral surgeon. I'm filling out the whole questionnaire because I've never been to this doctor before. And there's the whole medical history section. But the way it's phrased is, do you currently or have you ever had a contagious disease?
COVID?
Yes.
COVID. Just about everybody's had it.
And
So
cold,
when the nurse
flu.
so when the assistant comes in,
Chicken
I said,
pox.
listen. I said, I want to clarify, because she's got the record up on the screen. I said, I want to clarify the contagious disease. I've had a cold before in my life. I had COVID. Those are both contagious. I don't want the doctor thinking that I got like Hep C or something, and she's got to take special precautions.
Or
That's why I answered.
or leprosy.
She said, okay, no problem. I'll make the addendum. She said, and for other condition, you said, I am a meat popsicle. I said, that was to make sure that y'all are reading it. That's all.
By the way, Colin, I'm reading. I know you said the cerebral spinal fluid leak is a elective surgery, but according to Hopkins Medicine, all right, I know you may not have heard of them. All right, CSF leak is a very serious condition.
Oh, yeah.
Untreated CSF leaks can lead to life-threatening meningitis, brain infection, and stroke. But obviously, elective. Those are all just little things.
Yeah.
Little things we shouldn't worry about.
There was no problem at all with the insurance company getting any of this approved. So it was not a elective like I decided to get plastic surgery. But it's described as elective because I think what they really meant was I decided to have the surgery done. I wasn't in a car driving it around and the semi-truck hit me and they came in and had to do surgery because I was dying. I think that's what they meant by elective. But still, I was just looking at
That is a terrible definition of elective.
Yeah. I lost my arm in a saw accident. Well, it was your choice to build that shelf. All right.
But, technically speaking, I could have chosen to not have it fixed.
Yes. All right.
Well, technically speaking, I could choose never to drink again and not have any complication. The medical industry is just FUBAR, okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And there is no way, shape, or form that the term elective should have been used for your surgery. I'm sorry.
No.
That's idiots. All of them. Let's move on before I have an aneurysm.
So the Super Bowl happened while we were gone. I heard.
Yes, it did.
I heard. I
Yeah,
didn't
really,
watch
good game.
anything of it. You know, I
watched the whole thing. That was one of the. I think from a game perspective, that was one of the best Super Bowls I've seen.
well
Until the last 5 minutes when the refs got the phone call from upstairs. Well, I digress. I didn't even watch. Okay, I went to bed and I saw that all of the conversations about that the next day. I did what I normally do. I watched the halftime show.
I didn't even watch that, and I didn't watch the commercials. I watched a few select commercials the next day on YouTube, but that's about it. And finding some of them were difficult. Like finding the Ben Affleck commercial was hard. And that was supposed to be like one of the best ones there. Ben Affleck working at Dunkin'.
The commercials that stood out to me were the Ben Affleck one was funny.
Yeah. But
Farmer's Dog.
The bloopers of the Dunkin' one were funnier than the commercial. So that
usually they are.
Yeah.
The Farmer's Dog one, Kim and I both looked at each other like, that was a tearjerker. All right, that took the place of the Budweiser Clydesdale, usually tearjerker one.
Yeah,
and the Breaking Bad
that one,
parody.
Yeah,
I was looking at it going, that dog is about to die. Why are you? I mean, It's just that dog is too old.
Well, so Mike,
I
speaking
don't
of
think it would be the lesson I wanted to hear from it.
speaking of dog commercials, what did you think about the puppy who ran cross country to be found only to be shipped out by the puppy mill?
I don't recall seeing that commercial.
Oh yeah, it was Wix or GoDaddy or somebody, I think.
One of the website ones. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah. And then what was the other one that I saw there was Bradley Cooper and his mom had a commercial for T-Mobile. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I think the most. I want to know how much money that stupid TV app wasted with so many advertisements. It was the same advertisement every single time.
Shaggy, are you talking about the GoDaddy one from like 2015?
Oh, maybe that was an old one.
Okay.
Maybe I was.
Yeah,
Maybe I was
this
looking.
time.
Yeah. Maybe I was.
I would
looking
say
at
the most
best of.
effective ad was actually the one for the Flash movie, because they actually made me want to see the Flash movie for the very first time.
Ooh,
All they had to do was just put up coming soon, the Flash, and just have him where he uncovers the car and I'm Batman. That's all they would have had to do. That's all you needed. The rest of it was just filler.
Yeah.
There's a good rumor going around about the Flash movie that Grant Gustin, TV's The Flash, may very well take over the movie franchise by the end of the Flash movie.
Yeah, that one's been going around for a while. We'll see. That's not what the movie did originally.
It's not, but
I would not be surprised if Warner Brothers at the end doesn't do something.
Yeah. There were quite a
all
few.
All was Michael Keaton showing up as Batman, saying "I'm Batman." Once I saw that, I'm like, okay, I'm there.
There were quite a few throwbacks in the commercials. The not so clueless Rakuten commercial.
Okay.
There was another one with let's see here.
The Sarah McLachlan Bush commercial.
Yeah.
Not Sarah McLachlan's Bush. Sarah McLachlan Bush beer commercial.
There was
the Popcorners one was the Breaking Bad one. I thought that one was good.
Yep.
I like the Blue Moon commercial.
I guess I missed that there was a Temu commercial. Boy, Temu's kind of come out of nowhere. I mean, they're the new Wish.com is all that it is.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what they are. But they had their ad showing over and over and over again. Now, maybe that was a local ad. That's very possible.
I don't think so.
The Amazon ad, that was another dog one that was good, where the dog is destroying stuff, and they order a crate, and the crate is actually so they can go get the dog a brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The other one that I like was the Pepsi Zero great acting. They had two of those. One with Steve Martin and one with who else was in it? I want to say Ryan Reynolds, but that's probably wrong. Ben Stiller, yeah.
Workday. Can we stop calling people rock stars if they're not really a rock star?
Yeah.
But by the way, the hairs on the back of my neck stood up because I hate that software.
Yeah.
Fixed on Pixel. Okay, so this one got my wife thinking that she wanted for her next phone a Pixel because she wanted to be able to remove stuff from the background. I was quick to point out that that already exists on the Samsung camera app. It's just an extra click or two that you got to do to get to it. The Smart Eraser. So save me some money. Thank you.
Yeah.
Will Ferrell, enough of you already, okay? Don't need you selling me electric vehicles.
Oh, I was going to say enough of Kevin Hart and DraftKings. I see him enough regularly.
Actually, I like the Will Ferrell one because it was fine as a one-off. It'd be really annoying if that was an ongoing commercial that kept showing up.
Mm-hmm.
But as a single showing, it's fun.
The other one, and I take issue with this, and I almost started a couple of fights on Facebook over it and Twitter. The Crown Royal commercial. I flat out told Dave Grohl and Crown Royal they could kiss my ass. Thanking Canada for French fries with cheese and gravy, or thanking Canada for poutine, it's just French fries with cheese and gravy. No, it's not. Poutine has cheese curds. French fries with cheese and gravy are disco fries invented in New Jersey. Dave Grohl can kiss both the left and the right of my ass for that one. We don't take credit for Justin Bieber. All right? Canada cannot take credit for disco fries.
Okay, when were disco fries invented?
Not Canada. That's poutine. And that's cheese curds.
Okay, according to this, disco fries were popularized in New Jersey in the 1990s, but they gained their name in the 1970s. I'll just say
Mama Blair says there were some sucky ones too. I'm still having rabbit nightmares.
oh,
What about
yeah.
the rabbit?
It was one of those streaming services.
All right, so two more that I want to point out real quick while Colin is going down the rabbit hole about disco fries. The Uber One commercial, I thought that one was great too with Diddy. The fact that they brought in the guys, what does the fox say?
Yeah.
That
was good.
had me roll. I thought that was hysterical. And what's this other one that?
Okay, so I just looked it up, and now I will say officially, both disco fries and poutine could kiss my ass. The horseshoe sandwich was first.
Okay, I'm not comparing a horseshoe. That's a whole different animal here.
Yes, it's just cheese on French fries on meat.
Okay, yeah, you have the addition of meat. Therefore, it's a different animal. It's a sandwich.
Yes, I'm just saying it was definitely first.
If you want to go there, I'm going to start talking about fat cats, all right? We're not going down that route.
Oh, God.
Let's not. And the whole the Maya M&M's thing, that was possibly the biggest bust of them all. I don't know who spent more money. If you take into account all of the hype leading up to it, I think M&M's dropped more money than Temu during the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the commercial itself with the clams and the M&Ms. That was fine, but it was one commercial. There was no lead up to it.
But we were right.
It was just.
We were right though about that. The taking the M&M people off of the advertising slate was just a work.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, and all of the lead up. Well, Budweiser did the same thing with all the lead up, talking about how Caddyshack is back.
Yeah.
And no, it's really not. Those were stupid too.
So, Mike, you said you watched.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Mike, you said you watched the Super Bowl, the halftime show.
I did.
So, what was your opinion of the halftime show?
My opinion was Rihanna did an incredible job for a pregnant woman.
Okay.
But
So-
it's also my opinion that knowing she was pregnant, she should not have taken the job.
Yeah.
Or if she already signed the contract, she should have taken more precautions to not become pregnant. Time this a little better.
Well, and as always, there's people who like the halftime show, people who didn't like the halftime show, and then there is also people like me who said, "When in the world are you going to book Weird Al Yankovic?"
Yes,
Because that's a halftime show America can get behind. That's a halftime show nobody can complain about. I've never seen anybody say, "Well, I hate Weird Al. He's so offensive."
have you talked to my wife?
She would not say that he was offensive. She would say that he is silly and goofy. I don't know that she'd use those particular words, but she would say something to that effect.
There may be a word, a possible swear word with dumb,
Yeah.
something along those lines.
She might say something like crazy ass cracker. But.
Well,
Perhaps.
I was looking through a list that was talking about the worst and the best Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah.
I was looking through it, and I hit one I'd never heard of, and they said it was one of the absolute worst that ever happened. And it was Blues Brothers.
Well, here, we'll see where they rank on this list, because Mike provided a list from worst to best. So at 35, they say the worst was the Black Eyed Peas from 2011. Followed by 34, everything from 1967 to 1989.
We should put, this is from Rolling Stone, so there is a little, take it with a grain of salt.
Low budget blur of college marching bands, Elvis impersonators, Carol Channing, George Burns, the Rockettes, and Year After Year, Up with People. 33, New Kids on the Block in 1991. Well, now, they were probably still pretty hot in 91, so I don't know why they...
Well, here's the thing, though. It was on ABC, and I don't know if the tie-in was still there, but you notice when you look at the picture, who's that? Okay, so there's Donnie. There's I'm gonna call him Guido. Second one from the right, he's got Mickey Mouse
on his sleeve,
symbols on his sleeve, and there's a Mickey Mouse thing on the stage, and they sang "It's a Small World" with the Disney Kiddie Choir. So somehow this had a Disney tie-in, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Then we get Phil Collins, Christina Aguilera, Enrique Iglesias, Tony Braxton, and Tina Turner. That sounds like it would be great, but that's a lot. What they get? One song apiece?
So that appears to be that's a Super Bowl show that suffered the Spider-Man syndrome, where they tried to fit too many acts into one show.
I mean, just put Phil Collins up there. That's all we need. Number 31, Gloria Estefan and Olympic figure skaters. Why? How are you going to put Olympic figure skaters on a football field?
No idea.
It's not exactly ice friendly, or shouldn't be. Patti LaBelle, Tony Bennett, Teddy Pendergrass, and the Miami Sound Machine for 30. From 1995. Not exactly the year that they were best known for. I mean, Miami Sound Machine was probably still somewhat relevant, but none of those other people were relevant still in 95.
Yep, and this was another Disney one where they tried to do Indiana Jones.
Pete Fountain, Irma Thompson, Doug Kershaw, and Snoopy in 90 at 29. The Blues Brothers come in at 28, Colin.
Right. So I actually found that on YouTube, which is full of comments at the end of, "This is the best Super Bowl halftime of all time. They don't do it like this anymore." Blah, blah, blah.
Well,
I'll just say Jim Belushi is not the greatest singer of all time. I would have preferred hearing more from Dan Aykroyd and John Goodman, who were also there.
Well, yeah, but this isn't even
ZZ
the Blues
Top.
Brothers. This was Blues Brothers 2000, because John was long
I'm not
gone.
I'm not sure that. No, this is pre-2000. This is just
Okay.
This is
But-
Blues Brothers as they existed in between.
Okay, but this
John
is the
Goodman was part of the Blues Brothers. He wasn't just part of Blues Brothers 2000. But Jim Belushi took over after John Belushi died. But yeah. Now, yes, James Brown is not very good at lip syncing. And halftime shows
No.
are always lip sync.
yeah.
So that was a little sad. But the thing is, when you actually watch it on YouTube, you see that most of the time the camera wasn't looking at him that close anyway. So they're really over
Overacting.
saying how that was. And yeah, ZZ Top was actually pretty good.
Then in 2019 we had Maroon 5, which I'm sure they were probably okay.
Well, they played. So the backstory to that is the NFL played it super safe that year because that was the year of Colin Kaepernick being and his whole being out of the league. So they had people. Their first choices were turned down, and Maroon 5 was like 8th on the list.
26 was The Who during 2010. Tanya Tucker, Clint Black, Travis Tritt, and the Judds in 94, rated in at the 25. Janet Jackson.
I'm sorry. Wait. Go back. Why is what's his name? Who is that? Joe Namath.
Stevie
Why is
Wonder?
Joe Namath in the back with? No, Joe Namath with a microphone.
Why?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Why do we have Clint Black, Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, the Judds, and then for no apparent reason we have God, I can't remember his name. But yeah, Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Why do we have Stevie Wonder
And-
back there? And
Can
Joe
I also
Namath.
question who's on the crutch? On the
I don't know.
next
Yeah,
to Stevie
good-
Wonder.
good
Somebody's
question.
on crutches.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know.
Number 24 is Boobgate, as
Yeah,
it came to be known. Nipplegate.
Yeah, Nipplegate. P. Diddy, Kid Rock, Jessica Simpson, Nelly, Justin Timberlake, and Janet Jackson, where suddenly the hammer got brought down on every medium except television where the problem occurred. You know? Then in 1998, Boys to Men, an a cappella group, played the halftime show. Justin Timberlake in 2018 at number 22. Stevie Wonder and Gloria Estefan. Oh, so Stevie Wonder played a couple times in 99. Shania Twain, Sting, and No Doubt in 2003. The Weeknd played in 2021, and I have to say I was extremely confused at that show.
All right. So that was the year of COVID, right? This was hard in the middle of COVID. So I give him credit. He worked with what he was able to do. Everybody's all masked up and what have you. So I think this one was unfairly rated.
Yeah. 18, Bruno
This
Mars
one-
and Red Hot Chili Peppers. So they're about in middle of the pack.
Yeah, and this one was the one that the internet went crazy about because the Red Hot Chili Peppers flat out said, yeah, our amps weren't even plugged in.
Yeah.
Nothing was.
Diana Ross in 96 comes in at 17. Coldplay, Beyonce, and Bruno Mars at 16. Tom Petty at 15 in 2008. Now, Tom Petty, I mean, that's got to be I think that was a pretty good show. Michael Jackson in
Okay,
'93. Go ahead.
All right, so stop for 1 second.
Yeah.
Tom Petty, when you say it was a good show, see, this is where I take you have two ways that the halftime show can be good.
Yeah.
Either very good music or great spectacle.
Which Tom Petty Tom Petty has an amazing
rarely do
catalog.
the two meet.
Yeah.
Yes. Rarely do the two meet.
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna, and I don't remember if Rihanna is on this list or not, but Rihanna's show, she has a catalog in a different genre that is equal to, and yeah, I said it, get off me, Tom Petty's.
You're entitled to your opinion. All right.
I'm
not exposed to her type of music as nearly as much as Tom Petty.
Okay.
You know? So yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. But she leaned more on the spectacle with the
Right.
platform elevation changes.
Right. You know, next one, Michael Jackson. Now, you talk about spectacle and catalog. I think he had both. So,
Yeah.
Next up, Paul McCartney. It's Paul McCartney. I mean, you don't get a bigger catalog than Paul McCartney.
Well, yes, and this was more about the music than the spectacle.
Yeah. You just need Paul McCartney on a stage. Next up, Katy Perry and Missy Elliott. There you have spectacle. She rode in on a friggin' mirrored lion.
This perhaps was my most favorite halftime show. Was that one right there?
Because of Left Shark?
Of course.
Okay. Just level set. All right. Rolling Stones come in at number 11. Now, here, it was amazing in 2006 that Mick Jagger could still do some of the moves. I don't know, how much glycerina he had to drink in order to get those, hips to continue to move. But it's crazy how they're still doing it at the age that they are at. All right. Next up, Lady Gaga and 2017. That was again spectacle.
Wait a minute, did you just say Lady Gaga?
Yes, I did, because another radio personality I listen to, they mispronounce her name all the time, and I think it's funny. So,
okay.
Then Madonna in 2012. I got to think this was on the... I haven't liked her for a while, honestly. I don't get her now. Past about 2000, I'm not into her anymore. She's weird. So
that's about the time. I think around late 90s. Yeah, that's about the time where Madonna just kind of lost any interest for me.
She lost she went to Madonna. She went way too far Madonna. And
then Lady Gaga just kind of came in and did the reverse. She went full Madonna. Then since then she started,
Yeah, she went
dialing it back down.
Lady Gaga went 80s Madonna, and now she's going, 2000. Now she's going, early 90s Madonna and keeping it there, which is cool. Here you go, 2023, number 8, Rihanna. So, and I'm going to have to take your word for it, Mike, because like I said, I haven't seen it. So we'll see, how it is. Number 7, Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Now, Mike from New Jersey, this really has to be your number 1 band, right? I mean,
the hell it is.
You gotta love this one. I mean, hometown hero.
I think,
nope.
Listen,
Allentown's got to be like your favorite one.
That's Billy Joel.
Okay. Well, then Jack and Diane's got to be your favorite one.
That's John Cougar Mellencamp.
Well, then, Uptown Girl. That's it. That's what you like the best.
That's Billy Joel also. That's 80s Joel.
Little Loose Coop.
Born in the USA, maybe.
No,
listen.
No, I think
Springsteen.
That's
Both Springsteen and Bon Jovi. Just because you're from Jersey doesn't mean you have to like them, and that's all I'll say before I royally piss off one of my neighbors who may discover this podcast.
I think you're wrong. I think because you're from New Jersey, you do have to like them.
No, I absolutely do not.
I think it's a legal requirement.
I think Bruce Springsteen he's got some good songs, but God damn it, he's one of the most overrated sons of bitches I've ever heard on the radio. And I'm gonna there. You made me say it.
I think if you look at your driver's license application form, you'll find a little box that you have to check to say you don't like Bon Jovi and Bruce Springsteen.
I think the only way that he could be worse is if he was British. I mean, I can't. Bruce Springsteen, Sir Bruce Springsteen. I don't know. What?
Sir Bruce Springsteen. Lord Bruce Springsteen.
Lord Bruce Springsteen. There you go.
Number 6, Shakira and Jennifer Lopez in 2020.
Okay. There's only one moment from that I even care about. And it became the meme for whatever when Shakira looked right at the camera.
Number 5, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, NSYNC, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige. Let's see how many people we can put on a stage again. In 2001, this is Britney pre-shaving her head. Number 4, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, and Kendrick Lamar. In other words, it's the let's piss off all the old white people that are watching episode.
That was last year.
I do have to say one thing about this. They told Snoop, because Snoop famously is a Crip, and he was going to come out with the blue bandana in his back pocket, and which is sign that you're a Crip. He flat out said, they told him flat out, do not do that. Do not do that. So what did he do? He had his outfit made from the blue paisley bandana. So he instead of having it in his pocket, he wore an outfit made from the entire thing. He is a legend. Snoop did a kids album. Did you know this?
Snoop does a lot of interesting things.
I would just say that really was a really good performance, and not just from the singing, it was the staging.
Yeah,
the way they kind of moved from a house to another house to another house. That was almost Olympic opening ceremony level staging. I think.
It was an interesting performance, but it definitely generated a ton of comments when it happened because it was not the typical viewer's cup of tea. Beyonce in 2013 comes in at number 3. U2 comes in at 2002. You want to talk about an overrated band? I think U2 is one of the most overrated bands of all time.
So go ahead. And number 1.
I am not going to argue this whatsoever. I think that the halftime show with Prince in 2007 was so good, even God wanted to add to it. All right? That's how good it was. Even Jesus was sitting up there going, you know what? Let's throw a little rain at this just to accentuate it a little bit. And let's put a crack of lightning to just, let's just give it that much more. That's how good it was.
I will give you that.
That was. I put this performance and the one of My Guitar Gently Weeps at it was a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony that him and a bunch of other people did as like 2 of the best performances that I've seen of him. It was absolutely amazing. Didn't see him in person, but got to see him online, and that were good. So, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
so Mama Blair wrote in asking if Adele would be a good halftime show. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not
really
sure.
Don't know. I think it would be divisive because.
Well, the question is, who
she
would you
leans
pair
more
her
toward-
with?
Well, okay, so that's an interesting thing. As we went through that list, a lot of them were multiple acts, and that was a complaint about Rihanna's show. Is she could have easily? She has collaborated with so many people. She could have easily brought somebody on stage as a surprise to up the level, and she didn't. You know, Gaga didn't bring anybody out either, but she didn't have that many collaborations. I mean, I think Beyonce at the time was her biggest her only collaboration, really. So I don't know. I don't know if Adele would be. Does she have?
So she just did a collaboration album. Well, not just. She did it in 2015. All right. So here's some of the notable names that she did the collaboration album with: Phil Collins, Kelly Clarkson.
He ain't performing nowhere. All right. So if we're talking in terms of Super Bowl, Phil Collins is not performing anywhere anytime ever again.
Sure.
Especially not the Super Bowl.
Kelly Clarkson. Sia, or Sia, or however the hell you say it.
See ya.
Pharrell. Beyonce. Lady Gaga.
Okay, if Pharrell could somehow get Daft Punk to reform, then that could be quite a halftime show.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I don't know who. See, if you're leaning too much on your collaboration, then are you really the headliner, or are you just the coordinator?
I don't think Pharrell would be the headliner of that particular thing. I'm saying it would be Pharrell and Daft Punk. I could see that combination.
She's also collaborated with Chris Stapleton, Darius Rucker.
Okay, but see, you're missing my point here. I don't believe Adele has some major hits, but I don't think that she would be halftime. Not yet.
No, she's not the right kind of music for halftime. They need something more dancey. But okay, so that thing you were just doing with trying to pair it up. Let's go back to the very beginning to Shaggy's original. If Weird Al was the halftime show, who is he paired up with?
I don't think he needs to be paired up with anybody. I've seen his show. I mean, and we've had single act shows before. U2 didn't need anybody else with him. But if you did want to pair up, wouldn't it be cool if he had some of the original bands or original artists do the parody with him?
I was actually thinking it would be cool if he paired, just based off of some of their recent video work, it'd be kind of cool if he paired with Weezer.
I would say either Weezer.
Because then you can have Weezer come out.
Have maybe Jack Black.
Right.
Who's the other one? Is he doing something with Toto?
Or
he did Africa with Weezer. So, but Weezer did.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was still Weezer.
Yeah.
Oh, presidents.
Yeah, presidents of the United States of America, because he did.
Yeah.
He did. Well, and he's parodied them with Gump.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right, to the point where they actually have changed. Was it Lump?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They changed how they do Lumped because they liked how Weird Al ended it. With that's all I have to say about that. They've added that to their version of it. They could bring in Nice Peter and Epic Lloyd.
I don't know that they're doing anything now. They have gone kind of silent, I think.
Oh no, they've been doing some new epic battles recently.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at some point they do need to expand out from traditional genres, and they need to go into the Tic Tacs and the YouTube's world, because that's going to be their new audience. You know,
The Tic Tacs.
again, I just think it's fun.
So, yeah, because Mama Blair said maybe we could start a social media petition or two to get Al on the Super Bowl.
I think there's been some
People, we have been trying for over. How long has it been since Elf came out? We've been trying that long to get Buddy the Elf to host SNL's Christmas special. There have been hundreds of thousands of signatures on a petition, and they still won't do it.
Yeah.
So I'd love to. I don't think it'll happen.
Yeah, they did start a petition. They did have one on change.org 9 years ago that drew 128,000 supporters, just so that you know. So it has been done before. You know, now, I don't know, maybe with this movie with Daniel Radcliffe, you could get even more. You never know. By the way, at one point, we had a petition on change.org. I wonder if it's still around.
Who did?
We did.
For what?
I don't remember. That's how long. That's how good it was, Mike. We started one. I don't remember what it was for. Maybe we were starting a holiday. Is that what it was? I don't remember, but I'll find out, because I know it's important. It was obviously important to us. So much so that we never checked on the petition. But, you know, I know that I started one for something. So let's see here. I got to reset my password because I don't remember what my password was.
Oh, dear Lord.
Thank God for resetting passwords.
So the most recent epic rap battle was 4 months ago.
Yeah. So, all right.
Ever since they got the ownership back from Disney, they've just been doing it every so often.
All right, so let's see. My petitions. What was my petition? Oh, okay. So we started one to. Oh, I started one for Save the Librarians by picking it. Or actually, no, I signed one for saving the show The Librarians. Wanted Netflix, the CW, CBS, or Hulu to pick it up. That one had 3,400 supporters. I signed one for revising animal cruelty laws to include a definition of adequate shelter. And
that was one that I shared. I remember that one.
And then another show that we used to know about was trying to be passionate and excited about doing a show. And we voted to, I voted to support them in doing that.
No idea.
A and G show. But,
well.
You know, but that failed. Yeah, so that was.
No, so we never did one.
So I don't think so. I thought for sure that we had started one. That's weird. When I search for any petitions having to do with Weird Al, all there is that there's not enough seafood restaurants. But they tagged it with restaurants, Donald J. Trump, Weird Al Yankovic, captains, fishermen, and food lovers. So they obviously know how to get people to click on their stuff.
Of course, you know.
So,
you put Dean Cain in your title, you're going to get Dean Cain to look at you.
That's right, and we need to do that again. So, all right. By the way, I before the show I had to run out and grab a drink, and I know we had talked a little bit about our challenges for the show, right? And we were coming up with ideas on challenges to do. And one of them that I kind of proposed, and I know this wouldn't be something that we could do across the board, but something that I had talked about was the idea of blind taste test to see if I could identify the whiskeys that I have in my own inventory. Okay? And you may say, well, that sounds kind of easy, right? Because you have these liquors. How could you not know what they are? But the size of the scale of the task is bigger than you think. Because I just checked, because I kind of collect Irish whiskeys. Okay? And just checking at my bar before the show, the thought was, okay, we would select 4 whiskeys, randomize them up, pour little shots, and I would have to identify which one was which just by a small taste of it. Okay? I have 22 different Irish whiskeys on my bar right now. Now, that's a lot for just one type of alcohol. So to just randomly pick 4 bottles out of that and then pour a little shot and then mix everything up and have to try and get 4 right, that's a big task. We could have a lot of fun with that because I do have things that range. Most of them are all in about the same price range, but I do have some that are very expensive and I have some which are very cheap. So like I've got one which is like $1.80 for the bottle, and then I've got one which is like $15 for the bottle. So it might be interesting at least to do one episode where we include the most expensive and the cheapest, and then a couple which are kind of in the middle, and see if I can tell the difference between those. So maybe we'll plan that for the next show. Because myself, I'm curious about that, if I can tell the difference. Because it's not like I am a sommelier or anything. I just know what I like. And these are all ones that I like, so can I tell the difference between them? Would be something fun. But I was a little bit shocked by the time I totaled them all up, and I'm like, oh, wow, 22. That's a lot. And the sad part is I know of at least 2 more that I want to go out and buy. So
we can try mix it up too. Maybe throw a scotch in there as a ringer.
Yeah, a scotch or a bourbon. Yeah. Yep, definitely could do that. I've got some of those too. I got more bourbons than I do scotches, but yeah. Yep. It's pretty bad.
I have a much smaller collection. I mean, for me, it's like, oh, I would like. I think I have some Jameson around somewhere. I have Monkey Shoulder, of course.
Yeah.
But
I don't have
course,
that.
at the moment, I'm not on any alcohol, so.
Nah, well,
And
maybe for the next show, I will. I'll see if I can get an assortment of beers to try.
Yeah,
and
that'd be
I'll
good.
blindfold myself and see if I can figure that out.
Yep. So anyway, we might try that next show. All right.
We got like 15 minutes left. What can we do? We want to talk about these reboots, or do you want to go through another list that'll probably piss us off? 24 movies that are allegedly the funniest of all time.
Well, I kind of wanted. Did you have a chance to take a look at the teen attack video?
No, and I didn't because I knew it would piss me off.
Okay. Well, I mean, if we don't want
to,
if we don't want to, that's fine. I just thought, because I agree, it is. I hate to use the term triggering, but it is also a very sad commentary on the situation that happens in a lot of schools.
So here's my issue with it, and why I really don't want to discuss it. People complain that teachers aren't paid well enough. If y'all don't discipline your kids and allow shit like this to happen, then you damn well better be paying more in your school taxes so the teachers can get a raise.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
So, and I think I
Teachers
understand
are not parents.
I mean, I understand not wanting to watch it, Mike, but I think it is kind of it is a little bit important to watch, if you know what I mean.
It is. I
So
we
and
probably
I don't
should have started the show with this so we could go
right.
to a.
And we can. It's a bit evergreen, so we can always hold it for next time. That's fine. So
Let's.
okay. So we'll move on to your list of movies because that's so 24 movies that made people laugh so hard they genuinely think they're the funniest of all time. Because that's what the kind of kick we're on today, anyway. So
Would you like to start at the end and work our way to number one, or?
yeah, I don't know if these are actually in a particular order. But yeah,
Okay, that's fair. That's fair then.
because
Just start with the top.
I can't imagine that they are actually in this order. But and I won't pop these on screen, but we'll just talk about them. So Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy. So I did find the first one funny because of its just stupidity more than anything else. This is what I would call stupid funny. The second one was the same joke, over and over and over again. It was just a repeat of the first one. I did not find it nearly as funny.
I agree.
I've only seen the end of it because I barely liked the first one.
Yeah.
And I saw the end of the second one recently because I was going through the channels. I was like, oh, okay, this giant battle royale going on. It's like, I would have guessed that's probably the best part of the movie. I don't know if it is or not, but that was my guess.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of nice cameos. I think the battle fight, the battle scenes are probably the best scenes. So I don't think you really missed anything. The next one they have Office Space. I think that's a hilarious movie. I really do. And I think if you work in an office, I think it's even funnier.
That's the key thing. If you've never worked in a cube environment, you may not find this funny.
Yeah. My wife has never worked in an office environment. Okay. She's worked either daycare or she's worked at or at a fast food place or a grocery store. So she's never worked in an office. And one night we put this on and she's like, "Is that what it's really like?" And I'm like, "No, it's worse." I'm like, "The office is worse than this." I said, "But it gives you a good idea." And she goes, "I don't know how you handle it." And I'm like, "So you don't have a choice."
So I was talking with one of the guys this past week, and we were talking about some possible job role changes this year and all, and it came up. I said, "Listen, if you suggest this without talking to me first, I swear to God, I will put strychnine in the guacamole and send it to your house."
Yeah.
Anyway.
Next up, Good Burger. I have not seen Good Burger. I've seen a couple of clips here and there. I've seen skits on SNL and whatnot, but I have not seen the movie.
It's
look
a
at it this
Nickelodeon spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's definitely. I don't think it deserves to be out of this list. But I'll just say, I grew up with Kenan on. I just went blank. Name of that show. All That.
All That.
I grew up with him and All That, and then, becoming an adult and then going on SNL. It's like following along one of your classmates as they go and do exactly what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, Kanan was born, and Don Pardo announced his birth at the hospital. So people say he now has the record for the longest time working at SNL, and I look at it and go, that's because that's what he was born to do. If you don't, if Good Burger or Fat Albert, it's like no.
But wasn't Good Burger originally a skit on All That?
Yes,
I think so. Yeah,
I think it works better as a skit on All That.
Well,
all right. Next one, Young Frankenstein.
It's Mel Brooks, and it's written by Gene Wilder. How can it not?
It's okay. it's all right. I didn't. I'm a Transylvania 65000 fan, so if I've got to pick between the two, I'll take Transylvania 65000.
I think it depends how much of the old Universal horror movies you ever saw.
I only give it credit because didn't Peter Boyle play Frankenstein and win an Academy Award for it? So
I don't know about that.
Next one, Bridesmaids.
He did for best acting ever.
I don't.
Bridesmaids was a hysterical movie.
I don't know that I've seen it. I don't know that I've seen it. So that may be something I need to watch. Next one, Clerks 2.
I had to go back and rewatch it this week while Kim was at a 50th birthday party because there's just certain scenes like there is no way that they could get away with the whole porch monkey scene.
Oh, where we had to remove it from an opening.
Yes, we did. We absolutely did.
So, there's certain things you can't do today.
Yes.
So, all right, next one. Clue. Clue was great.
Sure.
Clue was awesome.
Yeah, I have no idea how it got on this list, but it definitely deserves to be on the list. It's just so overlooked.
People don't remember Clue. What We Do in the Shadows.
I've never actually seen the movie. I've seen the TV show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've seen it. Friday. I remember watching it. It was not my genre of film, but I do remember watching it once.
So
what? It wasn't. It wasn't on my radar.
All right. Okay. All right. That's fair.
It just wasn't.
Fair enough.
Oh, brother, where art thou? Again, I've seen clips of this movie. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've seen clips.
I've seen it many times, but it's a Coen Brothers movie. It's calling it a laugh out loud comedy is just not what it is.
Step Brothers.
Carrying it to the rest of these movies doesn't make any sense.
Step Brothers is, in my mind, another stupid funny movie. It's
hysterical. It's quotable. That's why it stands out. It's quotable. It's quotable the same way that Talladega Nights, the Ballad of Ricky Bobby, is quotable.
Yeah.
There are lines from it that you can pull and you'll know exactly what it, but is it hysterical? Is it one of the funniest movies of all time?
Beer Fest. Beer Fest came
How
out.
Did this get on the list?
Beer Fest came out right around the same time as Euro Trip. I think they were copying each other's homework. So
this is the same troupe that did Super Troopers.
Yeah, I mean it was it's kind of funny movie. I wouldn't say that it's laugh out loud funny, but it's kind of funny. Next up, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I never saw. I saw it. I've seen it a couple times.
Look at the look of shock on Colin's
but it
face.
is.
Oh my god!
I don't know. I was expecting either of you to like Monty Python. I will say I love watching people react to it on YouTube. Especially when it just ends.
I'm not a huge Monty Python fan, but I'm also not a huge fan of early British comedy. I don't like Fawlty Towers. I'm not a Flying Circus fan. The later stuff I like. I liked Black's Books. I liked the IT Crowd. I liked I liked Absolutely Fabulous. Some of the newer stuff I'm good with. I liked Benny Hill. That's about the only older British stuff that I got, and there was a reason why I liked Benny Hill. But that's
movies.
Lingerie, yeah. So, but that was it. That was all. I was never huge into And all my friends were.
There
They were nuts.
All right. So there are things about Holy Grail that I've seen that I like and I find funny. Could I sit through the entire movie at one time? Probably not.
Yeah, that's like they're coming out with that History of the World Part 2. I am not interested. I'm just not.
That's Mel Brooks.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but I'm still not interested because it came out. It just a Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. That's the most recent one. It's probably on a review list. I haven't watched it.
It's a fine movie. It's just not a comedy.
Yeah, Monty Python's Life of Brian. Again, I'm not a fan, so I didn't watch it. Team America World Police. Okay, now here's one that I watched and I did laugh a lot. I thought a marionette movie coming out in 2000 was hilarious.
To this day, I still
I think
sing
it
the
is not
theme
aged
song.
well at all.
Yeah. You don't think it
The
aged
theme
well?
song is the only thing about it that still works. But other than that, it has not aged well at all.
It didn't. It was.
No.
I mean,
Daka Mohammed Jihad. No, it doesn't. It didn't age well. Revenge of the Bridesmaids. I never even heard of this movie, and it bothers me because this is an ABC Family original. Only 23% of the country even knows that channel existed,
yeah.
let alone that this movie was on. You might as well put a Hallmark movie on this list, especially one that's starring Raven Simone.
Next up, Girls Trip from 2017. Never watched it.
Probably
Mike?
should because it's on the list and there's going to be a second one.
Yeah. So
Daddy's Home 2. Okay. Daddy's Home was funny. Daddy's Home 2 was hysterical.
was it?
And it was not your typical Will Ferrell movie, okay? You got Will Ferrell, you got Mark Wahlberg, you got Mel Gibson, you got John Lithgow.
Yeah.
It was actually a funny as hell movie.
Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I will. The Proposal. All right. Betty White made this movie hilarious, as did
Yes.
whoever the shop owner / stripper / ethnic man was in the village. I don't know what the hell his name is, but he made the movie hilarious along with Betty White and Ryan Reynolds and her. Just, I mean, it is a great movie. I'm sorry, but it is a great movie. Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Okay.
I think we can all agree.
Yeah. This was a Mel Brooks movie that was, and it ages very well. It ages very well. 40-Year-Old Virgin. Paul Rudd looks the same age now. Let's just put that out there. And this was funny when I watched it. I haven't watched it in forever. But, this Napoleon Dynamite, never watched it.
Okay, this is another one.
It's one of those movies where I just kind of like, I think I'll just live with all of the memes and think that, well, maybe if I knew what these memes actually meant, it might ruin the meme. So I'll just live with the memes.
Napoleon Dynamite is very similar to Monty Python type movies in the fact that, or in the respect that you either love it or you hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Superbad. I haven't watched it. I've heard good things, but I have not watched it.
All you need to know, I am McLovin. That's all you need to know about that movie.
Yeah. All right. And that's it out of this list. So
what was left off? That's the question.
Well, okay, here's a question. Is Real Genius a comedy?
Yes, I would say so.
Would you put that in here? Or would you put, say, Top Secret, or any of the
just thinking,
or any of the Naked Guns? Because Naked Gun, the first one was funny.
Well,
Yeah.
So when you read through the comments, the first comment says, "Seriously, no airplane."
Yeah, that's Airplane, Blazing Saddles,
No Blazing Saddles.
American Pie,
Animal House.
Porky's.
Well, yeah, Mama Blair asked if Porky's was on there, and no, it's not. Okay, so further down, Sideways. Sideways to me was not a comedy. Sideways was about a dude having a meltdown. Somebody mentioned Noises Off in the comments.
Oh, but okay, so that made me think of like Better Off Dead or One Crazy Summer, or we saw nothing with him.
Bob Goldthwait.
No, not Bob Goldthwait. Bob Goldthwait wasn't in Better Off Dead. I'm talking about
No Police Academy.
No Police Academy. No, I'm talking about John Cusack.
Oh.
No Patrick Dempsey in here either. So we don't get so.
I think there's
don't
just
look
not
at me like
enough
that.
Bill Murray.
Yeah, Caddyshack not on here. Somebody says 3 movies with Will Ferrell delegitimizes the entire list.
Loverboy with Patrick Dempsey was a comedy. No Revenge of the Nerds. All right, that was a comedy. It's not on here.
So I would say Revenge of the Nerds is not on here for the same reason Blazing Saddles is not on here. Is nobody wants to talk about those movies because there's uncomfortable scenes in both of them.
Revenge of the Nerds 2. Not Revenge of the Turds. That's a completely different movie. I think it's a training film for plumbers. But there's plenty of good ones.
Actually, Blazing Saddles is actually pretty there. Bridge of the Nerds isn't.
What about things like 16 Candles or Breakfast Club,
Ghostbusters.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off? There's a lot. I mean, 80s were nothing but comedies. The 80s was the comedy decade. That's what we got.
Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Austin Powers.
Austin
At least the
Powers,
first one.
yes.
Yeah.
Back to Bill Murray, the one that I would put on is Stripes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about Fast Times at Ridgemont High? That was a comedy, wasn't it? And it is known as a cult classic by a lot of people.
It's known by a lot of people for another reason too. And there's one scene, and her name is Phoebe Cates.
Yeah.
We should move on to the reviews now because
Yeah, we need to do movie reviews.
It didn't include National Lampoon's Vacation or Christmas Vacation either.
Yeah,
this
Christmas
list- this
Vacation.
list was-
Happy Gilmore. Ace Ventura Pet Detective. I could go on. Trading Places.
The Cobbler.
The Cobbler is not a comedy.
Okay, which movie we did first?
I don't know, because I honestly thought I was going to end up having another week, so I didn't get either of them watched.
Seriously, do you want
So
to just punch out and we'll leave it until next show then?
that's fine with me. It's up
sure.
to you guys. So
All right, we'll do that in lieu
because one of them is Cobbler adjacent. So
Cobbler adjacent. Lovely. Okay,
I
so
don't mean that it's at the same place as Cobbler. I just mean that it's Happy Gilmore.
okay,
Or Happy,
so
whatever his name.
so remind me what
Yeah.
what were, and let's remind the audience what were the movies.
So Home Team, which was a Netflix original. This might be the first time we've done 2 originals from 2 different services. That's the one with Kevin James. And Shotgun Wedding on Amazon with Josh Duhamel and some actress named Jennifer Lopez.
I've heard of her. She's been in a couple of B movies, I think. She might do good things, potentially.
Yeah, it's some kind of halftime show with some kind of soup thing.
The Sam Helen
soup thing.
Oh, it's Temu telling me, hey,
soup bowl
sale.
So, yeah. So, Mike, have you actually ordered anything off of Temu yet? Got to ask.
I have
question.
not yet. I have not. I keep getting the coupons. I keep seeing stuff, and I'm like, I'm not ordering one thing off of Temu. The only reason that I am thinking about ordering something is I want to see how the wait times compare to Wish.
Yeah,
that's my big thing. I'm not trying to order something fancy off of Temu, right?
Yeah,
I just want to see what the wait times are.
Well, my sister-in-law asked us to sign up for it so that she could get a coupon or gift card or something from there, because evidently if you do referrals you get that. So I signed up for it, but I don't allow notifications on a lot of my apps because I get enough beeps during the night already. But it is. Yeah, I was curious about it, but then I've also, I've also got Alibaba and Wish and a whole bunch of other stuff, and so I don't know. I order enough crap from China already that I'm sure I'm on a list somewhere. And actually, I was looking at, to geek out for a second, I was looking at one thing that was kind of interesting. Somebody had a, this is going to sound silly, but they had a motherboard that, because I'm always looking for interesting computer pieces, to maybe build another machine with or whatever. So they had this computer motherboard where they had put on a laptop CPU. So it's a regular motherboard. It has built-in USB, 2 different HDMIs, a display port, USB 3, Ethernet, sound card, all the other fun stuff that you'd expect. It's got a couple of different spots for M.2. It's got 2 memory stick locations. It's got a PCI Express 16 slot. It's got SATA ports, but it's one of the little ATX boards. So it's ITX, I think, is what they call it, or maybe it's not even ITX. Maybe it's, I don't know. But get this: so for $137, you get a motherboard with a chip already on it, and it's a 11th gen chip that has 6 cores and 12 threads. So, if you wanted to, you could buy versions that also come with memory and all the other, and a hard drive and stuff. So for under $200, you can get, for under $200, I think I saw you could get motherboard, processor, memory, and a hard drive. So it's kind of interesting. It's almost interesting enough to try it.
Hang on. Mm-hmm. Because I just went to look. I'm going to send you a picture through Slack.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me that the wording makes you want to order these.
Oh, my God. No, it doesn't. Stepping on S feeling, upgrade boost, mugwort deodorant campaign. Why would I want to feel like I was stepping on crap?
And mugwort sounds like something from Harry Potter.
It does. It sounds like, a disease that you give a muggle. when you don't like them. I curse you with mugwort. So, yeah. Let's see here. We've got a little bit of time. Let's see what interesting things we can find on Temu. So we're on Temu. What do we think we're looking for?
I almost ordered a foldable mouse.
Foldable mouse.
Since I have to go back to the office, 2 days a week. So.
Oh, I should show you what I did buy. I bought myself.
Oh,
now, what do you think this is?
Surface?
No, it's a monitor.
A USB-C monitor?
Yes, but it's also got HDMI input. So you can power it from a USB-C power brick, or from a laptop that has like Thunderbolt or USB-C, but then it also comes with HDMI cable. It's pretty cool. It's a 15-inch or 15.5-inch 1080p, 30. I think it's only 30 or 60 hertz monitor, but it's perfect for like a second monitor for a laptop.
Okay, I've been looking at those.
You want to guess how much?
About that. Where'd you get it from?
I got it from Amazon.
$100.
$60.
Send me link.
All right,
That's right in my wheelhouse.
Yep. So that was actually, did I even get it cheaper than that? Because I had a code. So I had a good code. So
like, I have been looking at stupid stuff that I don't think I ever would actually order else.
yeah, I've done that a lot of times. I think I just bought that mouse. So, I know. I want to look for a Mac. Let's see what kind of Macs they have. Do they have a Mac? MacBook Pro. Let's see if I can find a MacBook Pro on Temu. And let's see here. I want. Ooh, looks like they got accessories, but they don't have MacBooks. Let me see if I price it high to low, what comes up. No MacBook. Boy, they don't know how to count either. So no, they don't know what a MacBook Pro is. Oh. Because
I don't trust ordering electronics from these places. That's the thing.
Well, sometimes you got to gamble. Now, sometimes gambling doesn't work, but it's all about what. It's sometimes you bet the house wins. Sometimes you win. Just depends. But you got to be willing to lose the money if you put it on the table.
Well,
so.
Through.
That's where it comes into play. So let's see here. Can I find a Mac Mini? I want to find a Mac Mini. A Mac. I found mac and cheese, but finding a Kodak external SSD. Kodak. Boy, there's a name you don't hear often with high-class electronics.
Yeah, it comes direct from Kodak too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here you go. Foldable Bluetooth keyboard. You need that, Mike. Here's a phone case that makes your phone look like a Nintendo Switch. You need that. All kinds of weird spy cameras. so that you can be, sneaky and pervy. So,
Okay.
what do you got, Colin? What cool things are you going to buy off of Temu?
Oh, just this one that we have to try to get to. There we go.
Now, here's something that I may look at. Let me share the screen real quick. So, this is a flashlight. Now, I might be willing to get gamble $5.50 on a flashlight, because I constantly need flashlights to take the dogs out at night, because I still take one dog out on the leash, and it's always, hey, flashlight's dead or whatever. So having a few extras never hurts. And this one USB charges, so that's good. Looks like it's pretty bright. Doesn't come with a charger, but that's not a big deal. It's a USB charged flashlight, so that's okay.
Okay.
And looks like it's might work, so that's not a bad thing. I could probably handle that. Looking at their best sellers, look at socks. Okay, but anytime you try to buy clothing, though, that's you're wading into unfamiliar territory, because sizing, buying from China or Japan is drastically different than what you can think of, because their sizes are way weird. So, that's why I don't. Boy, those are funky shoes. Headlamp. Headlamps are cool. Vacuums, Datavacs, air fryer papers. So not too bad. Oh, Lenovo bone conduction headphones.
All right, so there are a lot of stuff, and these ship directly from Lenovo, I think, because that's the Lenovo earbuds may have been what got me to click on the link finally.
Yeah, so I actually have heard a review of the Lenovo earbuds that straight up look like AirPod Pros. And the review that I heard was not bad for the money. Compared to an AirPod Pro, not a bad deal for the money. You do have to adjust your expectations a little bit, but overall, pretty decent. They pair just like the AirPod Pros. They do have touch sensitivity. The only thing that they don't have is when you take them out, they won't auto pause. So, but otherwise, they have the same behaviors as AirPod Pros.
Okay.
So it would be interesting, because my last pair of bone conduction headphones actually just broke a few weeks ago. So it might be interesting and I have been looking for a new pair. I could definitely gamble on these and try them out, to see how they are. So supposedly 24,000 reviews.
Okay. Now, here is the thing. So they have just like the Lenovo ones that look like the original AirPods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? $9.48.
Yeah.
$9.48. At that price, there is no reason that companies cannot be providing these with corporate computers so that people stop using the damn webcam microphones on Zoom and Teams. For the love of God, can people please, it is 2023, can y'all just get a headset or some kind of Bluetooth headphones because the laptops that they're giving out at corporate offices, they suck. I constantly said speakerphone is the death of the conference call.
So
this is no different.
So like I said, my bone conduction headphones broke, and I had a Bluetooth headset at work that I used for the computer for all my Teams and WebEx calls. And so just today, actually, my new headset came in. So I'm taking this to work tomorrow. And I have done to this headset what I did to other ones. I put a little USB magnetic charger into the headset so that, charging is super easy and I'm not going to wear out the charging port, so that makes my life so simple. I'm curious about this particular headset, and the reason why I got this one is because I wanted one which was well rated. This one's got like 1,000 ratings. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to have a decent microphone. It's got adjustments, so the ear cups move. It still does have a plastic band, but it's a thicker plastic band than what some of them do. And the ear cushions are pretty nice. They are a little on the small side, though. The other thing that I liked was you can put the headphone on. You can put the microphone on either side, because not all of them do that anymore. But one of the issues that I have is, like, this is the headset that I use at home. The problem is this is a gaming headset. And so it sounds great, it's comfortable, but if you don't have any sound going to it for 20 minutes, it turns itself off. Which is a real pain in the butt when you've got 30 minutes in between conference calls and you forget about that. Because then suddenly you join a conference call and you can't hear anybody. So that's why I didn't want this at work. Because if this works, I'll actually get another pair for home. Plus, not only did this come with the headset, but it came with the dongle. Because this is Bluetooth or 2.4 with the dongle. And you can actually take the other ear cup off and go mono if you want. Okay. So if you're in like a call center, you can actually just go down to one headset, which is kind of cool. It's something which could be used. This is actually advertised for truckers, and it's supposed to have the latest Bluetooth, so it's like 140-foot range. So looking forward to trying that out tomorrow.
So right now I'm using my ThinkPad that I got from my employer, and it's okay. What nice thing about it is it's a regular laptop, so the camera can be, folded down like this. Where usually I use my Surface, and the problem with the Surface is that, well, if you try to go this way, then it's just going to fall on its head.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm not using it today. But I found the Surface, it has just the best microphone and camera I've ever seen. And that's what I use for all of my meetings at work. It never echoes. It always just works. And it's actually to the point of when I'm in the office now on Thursdays and Fridays, when we go into the actual meeting rooms, so a lot of people aren't there, so we have to get up WebEx. A lot of times, I'll just bring my Surface in. We'll use it instead of the meeting conference room stuff, because we've just found that my laptop does a better job than the permanent stuff.
Which sometimes that's true. It's not always. If you get which your Surface is a higher class Surface than what some people issue out. The state notoriously is cheap. And so, they issue out a lot of the bottom of the barrel Surfaces, like with i3s. And so,
Well, this is ARM.
Yeah. So, with the later Surfaces that I've seen issued out, they have a big problem trying to keep a WebEx connection going, because they can't process the camera, they can't process the WebEx and the OS all at the same time. So, yeah.
This is a first generation ARM Surface Pro X.
Yeah. So, but yeah. Alrighty. So you never know. Not by next time, because it never happens. Ooh, Mike, if you spent a little bit more money, for $10.48, you can get it in even more colors. You can get it in purple, mint green, or pink.
I don't need that.
You don't want a mint green Lenovo headset?
No.
Are
I
you
don't
sure?
need mint green. I'm sure. I don't need mint green.
Then it'll never be mixed up with anybody else's.
I don't think anybody else is ever going to have the same one anyway.
You never
Not
know.
in my office.
So there you go. Yeah, actually, I had also that little pew pew that you sent also looks kind of interesting. But if we talk about it, then they'll take the video down, Colin. So we're not going to talk about that. But that's a cool.
I just thought lots of stuff like that on TV was like, oh, okay, they're trying to kill us. Or
Yeah.
trying to kill our kids.
But if we talk about that, then we won't be able to post this video anywhere.
So I saw a remote control transformer car, knockoff car, and I'm like, oh, that's only $10. That would be fun to bring to the office.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
By drone.
the thing Colin posted even has a quiet pew pew adapter. So alrighty. So with that said, I think we're going to call it a night here. But we want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking out the show. So once again, check out ptrradio.com if you want to learn more about the show. Also, check us out on all of our social media channels at PTR Radio on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and everywhere else that you can think of. And pretty much, if it's at PTR Radio, we're there. I do have an event coming up in a month, so I will tell you more about that on the next show, which we going to do next week, or are we going 2 weeks? Did we decide? Nope. We didn't decide.
Me. We did decide.
Okay. Pay attention to our social media, and you'll find out when we're going to be on next. It could be the 6th. It could be the 13th. You just never know with us. So consistency is not part of the PTR radio title. That's not part of the acronym. That's not PTRC. No. It's probably totally random, which matches our distribution time. So if you want to know for sure and you want to make sure that you're always up to date, subscribe to the podcast feed because it'll get updated sometime. So with that said, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. And I'm Shaggy.
I'm Colin.
I am Mike the Ape Man.
Stick a fork in this, folks. We are done. Later.
7 country, now he's getting funky. This M16 ain't no game.